Hello, my friend. Okay, my friends, here it is. The Monday morning live stream at the Thrive Like a Viking headquarters. Let us know where you're at, what it's like where you're at. We have a beautiful day today, Mother's Day yesterday. Everything planted, or a lot of things planted in the garden. So much is happening right now. Let us know what's happening with you. Graham Divine, hello, my friend from Ireland, says good afternoon from Ireland. It's a balmy 53 degrees here today, and it's raining due to the government's aero display team. Nice. Well, rain, you can never complain too much about rain. I wish we had more of it. Definitely here. Susanna says, good morning from southern Arizona. John Saldana says, missed you all. We are still down here in Colombia. Yes. I've been looking at your weather there. It is unbelievable. I have never seen weather like that. How temperate it is. It is just incredible. So that sounds kind of nice to me, definitely, because it's about to start getting hot here. It's going to be hot. So I got to adjust this thing here. We'll start the meditation here in a moment. Let's see. Carol, good morning. Papa McMuffin, good morning, my friend. Says, hope everybody's having a lovely day. Yes, we definitely are. We're going to start the week with a little meditation, have some spiritual talk. I'm struggling a little bit to come up with like topics to talk about. So if you guys can give me some suggestions, all we really need is like a focus, and we can just go off of that. But there's so many things going on right now for me that I can't I'm having a hard time. Like, okay, what's the topic gonna be? Even though we just need to basically get it started, and then we can go from there. But let me know some topics, all right, of things that we would like to talk about in the future, because I would like to plan them out for the next month or 2 months, so that I don't have to think about it. So I can just put the thumbnail up 4 days in advance, and so that you can click the remind button, and then we can just follow that schedule. Yeah. So let me know some things that would be good to discuss. Hello, Pam, my friend. Says hello, Nate, and everyone all over the world. Much love and blessings. Yes. Look at that positive energy. Thank you. Val Thatcher, good morning from sunny, beautiful northern Arizona in the other Mile High city. Mile High. I didn't know Arizona had any places that high. Jody K, good morning, my friend. Claire, good morning. Sophia Renee, hello, Nate. Peace and blessings from Lawrenceville, Georgia. It's raining here, but cozy inside. Nice. Donald Hughes, dealing with old body and young mind. Yes, definitely. Yes. So we do the things that we can do to keep the body young as well, but that takes consistency. Now, at this point in life, in the late 30s, early 40s and stuff, my peers, the effect, or we want to maybe call it consequence, or their choices, their lifestyle choices are no longer able to be hidden, like from their face and from their aura, all of that kind of stuff. So the people that I like, my peers and stuff, now is the time when I see some of them, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, the years have not been so kind to you, my friend. But then you can tell other people that their thoughts are relatively pure, that they live mostly from a state of joy, and you can see it in their face. So, yeah, that's the thing about getting a little bit older. Nancy Cagle says, I would like to hear from you all about being sensitive to others' energy. Sometimes it feels too big for me, and how to guard myself. Yes, we will definitely think about that, or we will definitely talk about that, being sensitive to others' energy. That's a good one. Thank you. Jerry says another book. Yeah, we could do another book. We should finish the one that we were doing, though. I kind of have forgot about it, but we should definitely finish that one. So, Aaron Johnson, good morning, says, finally got moved. Just trying to plow new beds and got some things in. I transplanted all my garlic. It doesn't look good. Ooh, yeah, garlic does not like transplanting, but hey, see how it goes. Congratulations on the new place. That is exciting. Very exciting. You can do it right from the very beginning. So, following the tips on the Garden Like a Viking channel. Yeah. Donald Hughes says, I'm 69. Why can't I do what I did in my 40s? Yeah, well, there is a little bit of just biological reality, there, definitely. But there are things that we can do, of course. One of my uncles is like 64, and he's a farmer, like industrial ag farmer, like driving combine type farmer. And works all day, every day of his life. And like when I work with him, it's amazing. He's 64 and stuff, but yet he's just full of life, bursting with energy. And I was working with him, taking down this grain silo not that long ago. And he was having to move these cinder blocks, and they were in our way while he was holding something. And he literally was reaching down with one hand and just chucking these cinder blocks, 10 feet, no, 5 or 10 feet behind us, just throwing these cinder blocks like that, just getting them out of the way. Thinking, wow, man, that's impressive, for your age. And he just does that all day long. But it's because he's not sitting around thinking about how I'm 64 now. Oh, I guess I should start feeling old and all that. No, he's like, I got way too much stuff to do to be feeling old or to be feeling anything other than active. So, yes, so that is something that I've realized. Okay, Susanna says, how to stay the middle ground in our crazy polarized society. Absolutely. We will kind of talk about that today with spiritual fitness. That was the first topic that came to mind. So right after the meditation, we will kind of get into that. Definitely. Yes, okay, good. Donald Hughes. Oh, yeah, that would be a good topic. Okay, so I'm liking you guys are giving us topics. Dealing with the old mind but young body. Or old body and young mind. That's a good topic. Yes. Definitely. Claire says, I think when it comes to being sensitive to other people's energy, maybe a discussion about personal power or how power is used by others to convince you that you are powerless. Just a thought. Ooh, yeah, definitely. That is something that we do touch on this channel. Definitely. Now, I know that a lot of you mean in your personal life, like in your immediate life, and we talk more about society at large. But yes, these are all great topics that we can discuss in upcoming. So I'll just kind of have to pick, a topic for each week and just stick with it, almost like just throwing a dart and seeing which one sticks. So, okay, my friends, let us get into a little bit of meditation. So wherever you are at, whatever you are doing, it doesn't matter right now. Just set it aside, straighten the spine, and immediately drop in to the meditative state of mind. Together, let us take 3 deep conscious breaths, breathing fully in. Hold. Let it go. Again, breathing deeply as you can. Hold. Let it go. Last one, fill the lungs. Hold. Let it go. Now allow the breathing to return to normal. Relax the entire body. As you breathe naturally and normally, relax the face and the jaw. Relax the neck and the shoulders. With each exhalation, you sink deeper and deeper into relaxation. Relax the arms, the hands, and the fingers. Deeply relax. Feel the abdomen, feel the back, relaxed but attentive, poised but alert. Even if you are listening to this while you're moving or working, you can still do the meditation. Just become fully aware of what is happening. Become fully aware of your experience. Deeply relax the body and observe. Observe how the body is breathing for you. Observe how everything in this moment is happening without any effort from you. Even if you are moving right now, the body is moving for you. There is no effort required. The body is breathing. It knows exactly how to sustain you. The ears are hearing whatever vibrations are coming through the airwaves. The eardrums are receiving the sound. The brain is converting the electrical impulses into words and making sense out of it. It's miraculous. The fact that you can understand meaning from the sound vibrations is miraculous. But it is not you doing anything, it is the brain doing it for you. Remain relaxed and present. If your powers of presence are not yet strong enough to maintain, then use the body to anchor your sense of being. Feel the inner energy field, the sense of life and electricity that permeates your body. As you breathe in and out, in and out, feel the effortlessness of this moment. The heart is beating for you, circulating the blood, nourishing the muscles and the brain. The lungs are breathing for you. The mind is thinking for you. None of it is you. It is all happening with no effort. Observe this truth. If the mind wanders away into fantasies or imaginings or rememberings, it's no problem. Just recognize the mind has wandered away and come back to the breathing. Feel the body as it breathes. Feel the earth as it holds you tightly. Feel the heartbeat. Feel how the mind has become quiet and calm and still. When this happens, naturally a sense of peace and of harmony and of joy and happiness arise. And this is your natural state. This state of peace and of contentment is always there. It is always there. It underlies everything. It has just become clouded by the chattering, fractured, distracted mind. And so it appears you're disconnected, but you're never disconnected, ever. You are always perfectly present in the now. Together, let us take a few deep conscious breaths, breathing fully in. Hold. Let it go. Again, breathing fully in. Hold. Let it go. Last one. Fill the lungs. Hold. Hold. Let it go. As you come out of the meditation, if you have experienced a sense of serenity and of stillness with your eyes closed as you're sitting in meditation, now as you slowly open your eyes and you look around, try to understand the truth. The truth that there is no external world that is separate from an internal world. It only appears that way when the sense of sight is engaged. There is no external world different from an internal world. There is only the now. All that is, all that ever has been or will be, is now. It is here. You will never experience a moment that is not now. If that doesn't yet make sense, just keep digesting it. That is the biggest shift in consciousness possible. Likewise, you will never experience anywhere but here. Just as the now is not a point in time, here is not a point in space. The now is the vessel in which all things unfold. So is here. You will never experience anything anywhere other than here. It is the same as the now. This one revelation, if it is thoroughly digested, will transform your whole experience of life. So, spiritual fitness, guys, this is really what it's all about. This is what the practices are for. This is what the meditation, the cold training, the breath work, it's all for spiritual fitness. Now, that term, does it make sense to you? Because we do things for our physical fitness, and it makes sense. We would do kettlebell training. We would do going to the gym, if that's what you do. If you go for runs or long distance walking, which is about the greatest thing that the human form is designed to do as far as exercise, long distance walking. That's what we are designed to do. And it has all kinds of good physiological benefits. But we understand this when we talk about physical fitness, but even emotional fitness, but spiritual fitness, we think, what is that really? What does spiritual fitness mean to you guys? What do you think? Is it important? Is it something that is it something you've heard before? Because to me, it's one of the most important things that we can focus on. And that's why I come here every week and we do this, because I think I'm just compelled to do it. And it feels like the most important thing in the months and the years to come, because of where the society is being taken. We are in the quickening right now. Do you guys understand what I mean? So if you study, and I know I've said this before, and maybe we should talk on this completely one time, but if you look at exponential growth, this is what it's all about. Systems that grow exponentially, systems that grow by a certain percentage each in a given period of time. And so that is exponential growth system. Now, depending on what percentage it grows by and what time period it repeats by, depends on how long it takes before it eventually reaches what is called the quickening. So if you study exponential systems, you will know that there is always a time period, a long time period, where nothing really seems to be happening. But then, all of a sudden, things happen super fast, and boom, 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 boom. And it all comes crashing down. The system collapses. Exponential systems like that, most of them, are self-terminating. Okay? And so when you study system dynamics, even just very elementary ones, then you will see that exponential systems are not sustainable like this. All right. Now, when you look at our current society, all of our systems are exponential in growth. The GDP and the economy, things that we have to grow by a certain percentage each year. It grows by a certain percentage. It grows by a certain percentage. The population of the world, if you understand this, is deeply exponential. I mean, I don't even have to tell you, but I can briefly, just so that we can really set the stage. And so it took how many hundreds of thousands of years of human being on the planet, but to reach 1 billion people. Hundreds of thousands of years, some would even say 6 million years it took to reach our first 1 billion people. But then, so nothing was really happening for a long time. And then all of a sudden, we reached that billion. But then it starts quickening. So within 100 years, we reached the second billion. And then within like 50 years, I'm paraphrasing, within 50 years, we reached the third billion. Within like 20 more years, fourth billion, fifth billion, boom, 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 boom. And now we're at almost 8 billion or maybe over 8 billion. I don't know who's counting that, but that's what they say. And so the last billion only took like 15 years to create. So that is an exponential growth. And all of our systems, the national debt, yes, the money. Someone said, yes, Susanna said the national debt, absolutely, is monetary systems, but also the systems of growth in the economy and in the, all business models are modeled after that in this current society. And so we are in that point of the graph that is called the quickening. And this is what we have to prepare for. This is what everybody is seeing right now. That's why I'm making a point to say this, because things happen really, really fast at the end of the collapse of the exponential system. So I want to say this. Stick with me for just a second, okay? But I want to say this because this is a really good. So I got this analogy. You know, I'm really big on analogies and stuff. So I got this analogy or this illustration from Peak Prosperity, from his financial. I forget exactly what it is, but Peak Prosperity website. I really like Chris Martenson, and so he laid it out like this. He was explaining exponential systems. So over the years, this is how I've learned all of this stuff and how it's digested, and then I see it in the day-to-day world to an unbelievable degree, and everything makes such better sense when you can understand this. Okay, but he said like this. So imagine that we are at Yankee Stadium. Okay, baseball stadium. You know how big this is. Imagine that we are at Yankee Stadium, and you are at home on the pitcher's mound. All right, we're in Yankee Stadium. You are on the pitcher's mound, and we have a magic eyedropper. Okay, and it's magic because so he puts one drop in your palm, and then every 1 minute that drop doubles in size. Every 1 minute it doubles in size. Okay, so with that one drop, and Chris, he calculated all of this. He's he's that kind of guy. So he calculated the volume and all of this kind of stuff. All right. So just listen. This illustrates this. So you are at the pitcher's mound in Yankee Stadium, a massive baseball stadium. For those of you that don't know this, and one drop of water on the palm. Every 1 minute, that is going to double. So it's going to become 2, then it's going to become 4, then it's going to become 8, then it's 16. Okay? So how many minutes, or how long do you think it would be until the entire baseball stadium is filled all the way to the top of the bleachers? If that one drop is doubling every 1 minute, it's an exponential growth. It is growing by a certain percentage in a certain amount of time. In this case, it's doubling every 1 minute. Just think for a moment. How long do you think that it would take? Would it take 6 months until the entire thing is full? Would it take 5 years until the entire thing is full? We started with one drop. So when I first heard this, I thought like 7 months is what I was estimating. Okay, but from that one drop doubling, the time. So if it starts at 12 noon, let us say that we drop that one drop on your hand at 12 noon, and it's doubling every 1 minute. By 12:50, the entire stadium is full. By 12:50, the entire stadium is full. Let that sink in for a moment. But now, That blew my mind. So I was listening to it, and I listened to it like 15 times, that part of it, and to hear him break it down like that, and it blew my mind. But then as I started looking at other exponential systems, I saw that is how it goes. That is how it goes. And so, but what's even more mind blowing to me was that at what time in that, so if by 1250 the whole entire thing is full, at what time was there still just a little bit of water down on the pitcher's mound? You would have been like ankle deep in water on the pitcher's mound. At what time do you think? 1241 is what he said. 1241. So it only took the 9 minutes to go from that to the entire thing being full. Do you understand? The exponential system like this, okay? So I will try and link to some of these talks. His are really long talks and stuff, but it's really worthwhile if you have the time, if you're interested in this kind of stuff. Okay, so that's the power of exponential growth. Now, all of our systems, the monetary system, the economic machine, is all dependent upon exponential growth. And so it is doomed for failure. So it's doomed for collapse, and it's a self-terminating diagnosis. Now, so that's what we're feeling right now. We are in the quickening, guys. We are in the quickening. You can see things that are happening in society. I don't have to tell you guys that defy comprehension. Things are happening at such a fast pace now. Such a fast pace. The change is so fast and so rapid because we are in the quickening. So what can you do? Yes, Cowgirl in Arizona. So we are in the last 9 minutes. Exactly. We are in the quickening. That's why the things are starting to break down, the processes and all of this. Val says, what will a collapse look like? Yeah, that's a really good question. That's a really good question, and everybody has their own opinions, and everybody has the programming that they've received from movies and television over the years and things like that. It's really hard to say what it will look like. I would say that we are already in a collapse. Yes? Ooh, great. Claire says, I have been listening to Peak Prosperity and his great analysis of the Great Taking. Hang in there and listen. It makes sense. Absolutely. Peak Prosperity is for people that really want to understand. That will take, it doesn't matter how many episodes or hours it takes. You just put it on and absorb the knowledge and the information. Yes. So yes, we are in the quickening, the last 9 minutes. And so what do you do to prepare yourself? I have no idea what a collapse will look like. I really don't. I used to think that I would. I used to think that, okay, well, I got to have my bulletproof vest, and I got to have my, all my gear and my ammunition, and I got to have all this, and it's going to look like Mad Max and all this stuff. It's not going to look like that, guys. Over the years, I come to the understanding that it's just not going to look like that. It's going to look like what we're seeing now. We're seeing that now. The price, at least in America, I don't know, Graham, is it like this in Ireland? But the prices of everything have skyrocketed since 2020. The prices of everything have gone through the roof. I mean, but now it's kind of normalized. At first, it was like, whoa, the price of everything's gone up. But it just keeps going up. Everything keeps going up. Houses, food is through the roof. The meat is just, all of these things, every single thing. There's nothing that has remained untouched. And human beings are a marvel of adaptation. Remember that. The superpower of the human being is adaptation. And so we will just adapt. That's what we've already done. That's why you don't see more outrage about things, because the people just adapt. You just adapt to it. And that's just life now, especially the younger generation with the phones and all that kind of stuff, the direct line into their mind. So that's, to me, that's what it's going to look like. The people are just being bled dry. They're being bled dry of their resources. And so if you don't know exactly what the situation is going to be like, how do you prepare? You prepare by becoming resilient, spiritually fit. Spiritual fitness is what we will call this term. Now, what does that mean? Here, I want to read Graham's reply to that. He says, it's really starting to hit people. Mortgages and arrears, electricity bills and credit cards, all in arrears. I'm not sure what that means, arrears. And nobody talking about it, as their egos will be destroyed. Right, that's the thing as well. Nobody's talking about it. We're here in a place that used to be one of the cheapest, it used to be a very cheap place for housing. And it has just skyrocketed. The housing market is just beyond belief what it's done. And yet people are still buying these super inflated priced houses. And me and my friends and sometimes I'm asking them, okay, where do these people work? Where is everybody getting all this money from? I mean, they're building all these houses out in these cornfields, old cornfields, that start at $400,000. That's beyond belief. To us here in Indiana, that's beyond belief. Because just 5 years ago, just in 2019, you could still get a house for $82,000, $87,000, a decent house, no problem. I mean, $150,000 was, whoa, that was like quite a bit. When my brother got a $250,000 house, we were like freaking out. We were like, what are you thinking? Because that was like a huge, massive house. But now, just 4 short years later, that's like, you can't hardly find anything of size for that. The same house that he got for $250,000 now it sells for $380,000. We just talked about this yesterday. The same house, 4 years. So the system can't absorb all of that. So it's happening all around us as well. So Claire says, yes, it's normalized and humans adapt. Yes, and we are adapting to psychopaths and sociopaths. So yes, we need a way out. So grateful to you, Nate. Thank you, Claire. I'm glad that you are feeling it. And so, yes, we will get to it in a moment, what we do for the spiritual fitness, guys. That's what it's all about. VA Green says, look at Oliver Anthony's song, Richmond, North of Richmond, and the reaction from people tells you the mood of the country. Right, that song blew up. Aaron Johnson said, yep, paid $240,000 for 3 acres and 3-bedroom 1930s homestead. Outrageous, but it'll only get worse. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't see how it could. I mean, housing price, it's not going to go down. That's why nobody really knows what can happen. I mean, to get a new truck, it used to be in the 90s and even the 2000s and stuff. If you wanted to get a new truck, okay, $25,000. That was quite a bit, and you would have a brand new truck. But now these trucks are like $70,000 for these trucks. And I see all these people driving these massive, huge, brand new Denali trucks and Escalades and GMC and Suburbans and these massive things that are $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. And they've got it in front of their $450,000 house. So, and I'm just seeing tons and tons and tons of these. I'm thinking, where's everybody? How is this happening? Where's everybody working? Where do they? It just so. But I think that what it comes to is everybody is up to their eyes in debt. I mean, they're just, the bank owns their house, the bank owns their cars. The bank just lets you stay there for a while, or so long as you're paying rent to the bank, they will let you stay there. But then after you pay your house off, then you gotta, the state will let you stay there so long as you keep paying them, because it's actually theirs. Teresa Dura says it's because the only thing they have, every penny goes towards, every penny goes towards the payment of the house and the car, and they're eating out, and that's it. Yeah, and that's all. Yeah, they're eating out all the time, and they're getting sick and unhealthy, definitely. Brian says, today's talk led me to you. It started with fertilizer and knowledge to be self-sufficient, and now the spiritual fitness. Yes. Thanks for the guidance, my Viking friend. Absolutely, Brian. I'm happy you're feeling it. I'm happy you're here consistently. Definitely. So John Saldana, who is in Colombia, says, it is disheartening, especially people like me that left the country because of that, because of all the things we just talked about. And I find inflation is hitting us hard down here, even in Colombia. Yes, yes, it's happening because it's no longer countries like we used to think that it is. It's just the one world already. It's already the world economy. It's so deeply interdependent. So, all of that being said, guys, now some people that aren't spiritually fit will hear all of those things we just talked about, which was actually pretty lightweight, and they will get overwhelmed. They will think, "Oh my gosh, we need to change the channel to something positive," because they'll think that it's not positive, or they'll feel overwhelmed, or they'll feel afraid by that. Now, if that's you, that's okay for now, but understand that that is because of spiritual atrophy. Yes? You know what muscular atrophy is? It's like spiritual atrophy. So when we become spiritually strong, we strengthen the spiritual muscle. Anything that we just talked about won't matter in the slightest bit. It doesn't matter at all because you've realized the source of infinite strength and power that is the same as the source of your being. It is the light that is looking through my eyes and is looking at itself through this. It is the same light. It is a source of infinite power, indestructible, unborn, undying, eternal. That is what you are. And until you fully realize that, meaning until it becomes a reality for you, then things like that, everything we just talked about, could weigh heavy on you. It could, oh no, what's going to happen? And what, I mean, that's what they want. That's what people want, because the people that are deeply in the ego mind still, they're very afraid. I see lots of fear. There's fear all around us about what is happening and what's coming and all of this kind of thing. But once you become spiritually fit, none of that matters anymore. None of that matters anymore. Because you have realized the source of your being, and you've realized that nothing in this realm of form, as real as it might seem, is actually real. So what do we so for spiritual fitness, in the beginning, it's very important to remain consistent with your practices. This is what matters, because whatever might come is going to, you will not know. You can't know exactly what is coming and what form it's going to come. If we knew exactly, okay, well, on this date, this and this is going to happen, and then it's going to be like this, we would know how to prepare for something. But there's not any of that. We're in the quickening of all the systems, monetary, financial, food systems, the agriculture system, all of that kind of stuff is in the last 9 minutes of that example. Yes. Teresa says the butterfly effect is what I meant by it all matters. Yes, I understand what you're saying. It's a paradox. It's a paradox. Everything matters, but at the same time, nothing matters. So, let me see what you guys are saying. Blue Wolf says, I go to Viking Fitness to get my spiritual workout on. That is right, my friend. Jerry Bates says, we are running out of super cheap labor. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And everyone's like, oh, these kids nowadays don't want to work. Could you imagine working for like $12 an hour right now? If you are, that nothing against you. I'm saying most people, if we're talking about the housing, I mean, you can't even get cheap houses for under 100,000 now. Could you imagine working for like $12 an hour or something? What's minimum wage is still like $8 or $7 even. That doesn't even pay for the time to like get to the job. It just, the wages have gone out of control. It's gone completely out of control. And so what do? Since we can't know exactly what form any of this is going to take, we prepare the source of all of it. We prepare the one who is experiencing all of it. Yes? and we do the meditations, we do the cold training, we do the sauna therapy, we do the breath work. But most importantly, we go within and we observe. We observe directly the nature of reality, the impermanence of reality. We go within and we observe directly. Muddy Paw says, I recognize the shift in the world economic sickness and utilize my isolation to practice self-sufficiency. This creates a sense of security that battles the fear factors from the outside influences. Absolutely. That is wonderfully said. So you need to practice the skills. There's multiple levels to it. There's the ultimate level, which I'm always talking about, because everything goes back to that. The experience of wholeness. Once that happens, everything else becomes crystal clear. It doesn't matter. There's no more questions. But until that happens, it is very good to have systems about things. And so when you're talking about self-sufficiency, it creates a sense of security that battles the fear factors from the outside influences. Guys, learn skills right now. Take this time to learn skills. Technology, yes, there's some evil parts of it, no doubt. But there's some beautiful parts of it. We have this technology, the sharing of knowledge and information that we have access to is unbelievable. Seems alien. And so we can take advantage of that. Learn skills right now. No time should be left idle. There should be no idle time because there's so much to be done. There's so much to do and so much to learn. And so you can take this time to learn skills, and that will, as Muddy Paws said, and I concur, that will absolutely help bolster a sense of confidence, of can do. Yes, begin growing your own food. Even if you can't grow everything, don't think, well, I'm not, because I can't grow everything, I shouldn't grow anything. No, learn the systems. Learn the way that the earth sustains itself. This is important. Learn the way that the earth sustains itself. Learn the nature of this life support system. Learn to work with it. Yes? Learn about the human body, and then observe in nature. Learn and see how in nature things aren't sick and ill and with cancers and psychological disorders and all kinds of ailments and all kinds of... Humans are the only ones. And the animals that are in direct contact and care of humans are the only ones that develop that kind of things. You haven't seen squirrels with neurological disorders, with deep anxiety, so the natural world doesn't create things that are like that. The natural world creates things that thrive. The animals in nature, when left to themselves in their own habitat of nature, they thrive. They thrive. Humans are also meant to thrive. We are not meant to feel so disconnected and to feel so afraid of what might be coming and to feel so isolated and alone, to feel uncertain about things and to feel apathy. What's the point of it all? That is not what we were designed. We were designed to feel alive, to thrive, to feel the sunshine and the earth. Yes, and to move. The human body was designed to move, and it grooves when it moves, definitely. Yes, Ms. T, or an elephant with self-esteem issues. Yes, was that, I think that came from maybe Eckhart, one place. The squirrel with a neurological disorder and an elephant with self-esteem issues. I think that might have came from one of those books or something. There's so many things that go through the mind. I forget where they all come from. So, hello, Marshall. And so Teresa says, learning and honing skills is why I still binge watch your playlist. Thank you very much, my friend. I'm glad that you can benefit from it because skills are something that people cannot take from you. This is very important. You can never lose the skill. Once you gain it, it's yours now and always. So take this time and say, also, Skills are very useful. Skills are very useful. Brian said, and develop a tribe. Yes, definitely. And when time does get hard and lean, you can guarantee that immediately tribes will begin to form. That is what will happen. So if you don't have things that are super valuable that you can add, or even there's physical labor that you can add. So keep your body fit, be able to work all day doing things. That way you're an asset to a tribe. Or maybe you have, lots of provisions or ammunitions or protection, something like that. That would be very valuable. That would get you brought into a tribe. Also, if you don't have any of that stuff, skills. If you can sew really well without electricity, or maybe with a foot pedal, something, that's a huge skill. People will need that. If you can really well and you know how to preserve food, if you can grow food really well, that's going to be very important. If you understand how to make your own fertilizers and all that kind of stuff, that's very important. If you understand how to purify water, how to capture the water and purify it, yes, that's very important. And I don't just mean read a book about it. I mean, have you done it? Do you know how to do it? Are you doing it? That's very important. Yeah. So there's all kinds of different skills. And so the more of these things that you learn, the more confidence that you feel, and the more, because okay, well, I can't prepare for every little possible scenario, but I can prepare myself to adjust, adapt, and overcome and thrive in whatever situation comes. That's where you put your energy in becoming spiritually fit. When you're physically fit, how many of you are or have been at some point in your life physically fit? And you know that when you're fit, life just feels different. You walk with a more confident stride. You look people in the eye, and you just feel capable. You just feel more capable. And so if someone wants, hey, can you help me move? No problem. If your family member or something or a friend needs help, no problem, I can do that. And you not have to be worried about being winded, going up and down stairs. Oh, I can't help do any of that. No, we can do that, no problem. It just feels fantastic, and you feel capable, and you don't feel afraid of certain situations, because you're fit. Yeah. When I was traveling throughout the world, there was a lot of dicey situations, but I was fit. And so because of the habit patterns, the habits and the practices of my life up to those points, I was fit. And so you walk with a certain way, and you just communicate that, I'm fit. I'm not an easy target. Go somewhere else if you got malicious intentions. You're not going to have a good time here. You have to exude that kind of thing. So being physically fit really helps with all of those things, so that whatever comes, if a physical alteration comes, you can shut them down because you're fit. Now, in the same way, spiritual fitness functions in our life. If something happens, the monetary collapse, and the banks shut down or something, or the banks fail, whatever that means, then okay, well, that's not going to collapse my whole world. That's going to be very inconvenient, but I can handle it because I'm spiritually fit. Whatever happens, okay, well, what's the new currency? Is the new currency food? Okay, then I will begin to communicate in that currency. Okay, we can pivot really fast. That's what spiritually fit people can do. They can pivot really fast. And so so the monetary collapse, not a problem. What's the new game? What's the new currency? Let's get it. Let's just make it happen. Let's acquire it, whatever it is, because you're spiritually fit. And you're not sitting there thinking, oh no, all my money I lost, or all this, what is going to happen? You're not worrying like that. Not that the people that do worry, it's not that they want to, it's that they have not trained theirself to have enough control to step outside of that. Because once you've trained yourself, then you can spot, that's a cyclical thought. That's just worry. That's a poof, and it just goes away. In the beginning, it's a little bit of effort, but then after some time of training the mind, you don't even entertain those kind of thoughts. They don't even come in anymore because you're spiritually fit. And when you're spiritually fit, you will become physically fit to whatever degree you physically can be in this life now. So that's why it's so vitally important that we practice this and we become spiritually fit, because then whatever comes, if it is some kind of, I don't even like to use this term because it seems ridiculous, but in America, we're using this term now. There's going to be a civil war and stuff. I don't believe that for 1 second. But if there was, okay, we have to pivot. We have to see, all right, what's the new scenario? What's the new game? How are we going to thrive? This is what we do. And only someone who is spiritually fit can do that. Only someone that can grasp reality. Only someone who's not afraid to grasp the enormity of what is happening instead of living in denial is going to be able to pivot. All right. So, guys, a book that I've recommended this book before, but it's super important. If you want to understand sort of why we're on like a terminal diagnosis, you have to understand energy. You have to understand energy in this world. This book, written in the 80s, is phenomenal at breaking it down to explain to us that there's nothing, and you can see it was written in the 80s, so you can see all these years later, how so many of these things have come to light. And you can also see why it doesn't matter what new fuel source is coming. If we're using solar, or if we're using nuclear or any of that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter. It's self-terminating, this system. So there's a certain peace that can come with that when you understand this. I highly recommend reading this book. Another one I recommend to you guys, if you're feeling the spiritual kick, definitely Osho, the mustard seed. This one was very important to me back in the day. Believe it or not, I carried this thing on my bicycle through Africa, through Morocco. This huge, massive book. It was that important to me at the time, but I read the entire thing, and very eye-opening. Highly recommend. Yes, Sophia Renee, this is all a dream and we are dying to wake up. This is literally a dream. This is literally a dream. But if we were dreaming right now, in like a classical sense, if this was a dream, like you think at night when you're sleeping, if this was a dream and we were here right now and you knew that we were dreaming because you had become lucid in the dream for whatever reason, how would you explain to me that we are dreaming? How would you explain to me that this is a dream in any way that I could possibly grasp it whatsoever? You'd be telling me all kinds of things. This is just a dream. This isn't real. But all I knew was the dream. So I'd be like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. You sound insane. And you'd be talking about, no, you got to wake up to reality. And me, having been fully in the dream, never getting lucid, I would have no idea what you're talking about. There's nothing you could say that unless I experience being lucid or waking up, there's nothing that you could say. That's the plight of the spiritual teacher or whatever. It is, okay, so you've become lucid in the dream. You realize it is a dream. Now what? So, Sam Potzek says, I like to hear that. Same here. A bit of local community forming, neighbors, grandson next door, starting a driveway garden after I set up Viking in training. Yes, definitely. That's what it's about, man. And practice the skills, definitely. And I highly recommend it in every way. And, form community, definitely, and also understand what would be valuable in community. Yes? So develop those skills that would make you an asset. This is very important. VA Green says, I don't have to worry about losing my money. I already got divorced. Oh, man. Yep. Yes. Blue Wolf definitely says it's better to be a generalist instead of a specialist. I know what you mean by that. And that is, it's so true. It's so true. Think of that, guys. When you hear of people's biography back in the day, like Benjamin Franklin, he was an author, an astrophysicist, a doctor, a lawyer. There were all these different things. Like, how can you be all those things? Back in the day, it was just very different. To now, someone has to be too specialized. So I'd rather be the Renaissance man. All right, guys. So here we are. I hope that it made sense. I hope that sort of, I hope you could gain something from it. Yeah, we're just getting on here and creating something out of nothing and flowing with it. And spiritual fitness is so important. I hope that you guys are down with it, that you understand what I mean by that. And yeah, so, well, I'll share this book next time. Okay, guys, so we will see you here next time. So let us know in the comments if you're watching it after the fact. Let me know some topics you would like to hear. I'm going to go through in the beginning and read what those topics were and write them down, because we need more video topics. And then I'm just going to put out the thumbnail 3 or 4 days in advance and stick with the video title, whatever it is. Okay? Yes. Claire says, the exponential system favors the specialist. It definitely does. Yes. Yes. Pam says, practice, not profession. Graham says, there's not many people want to talk about these things, unfortunately. No, there's not at all, because they're not spiritually fit. And so they don't, just like if you're not physically fit, once you get the weight of something on top of you, you're going to strain and you're going to collapse because you're weak. It's snowflake. You're going to melt as soon as it gets hot. But if you are fit, then you get that weight and you can handle it, whatever it is. It's spiritual fitness is the same way. People that are unspiritually fit, they just melt. They just can't handle it. It makes them too uncomfortable, and they can't sit with that uncomfortableness. They got to change the channel to something different, But this channel doesn't change, So. Okay, my friends, we will see you all next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next Monday at this time. Oh, infinite spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. Infinite spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. Infinite spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say.